Thanks, Ron, and that certainly is a book well worth reading. We have been featuring northern Uganda recently, and it's been in the news of late in that the U.S. have just sent troops into northern Uganda to finally try to get rid of the Lord's Resistance Army, as it's called, led by a man by the name of Joseph Kony, who have been terrorizing northern Uganda for 20 years. And he's evaded capture all these years, but in the areas where he worked for those years, there is a terrific lack of resources, infrastructure, all because of the ravages of war. I was just there a few weeks ago, and I'll be bringing reports to you later in November. But here to talk about a place called Burlington, which is in northern Uganda, is David Shelley, our Director of Missions, and David Miclash, who is with alongside International. Have I got that right, David? Alongside International, working with Crossroads in helping to reconstruct some of that failed infrastructure in Burlington. Welcome, fellas. Dave, we see you about once a week, it seems, these days, which is very appropriate. But tell us a bit about Burlington and why we got involved there.
Well, you know, we went there many years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and that was where there was quite a massacre occurred during the LRA, heydays there. And when we went there and looked in the faces of the people and saw the trauma that remained in their community, there was just this hopelessness and despair that you couldn't really shake as you watched them. They couldn't shake it. And we thought, you know what, we need to do something extra in this community to bring life and hope back in and transform it from a place that everyone talked about the massacre. We wanted them to talk about something else, about transformation. And so we were able to connect with Dave Miclash and give opportunity for our viewers to actually go and make an impact on the ground. And we wanted to come today and kind of give a bit of an update on how things have started to change in dramatic ways. And so we want to first of all thank our viewers and people that have supported this and the team members that have gone, and let them know there's more team opportunities, and we're getting close to actually finishing the school there.
Well, I think I recall, if I got this right, Dave, interviewing you before you went to do this work, and we encouraged our viewers to support it, and so now this is a very current update. What was it you did there, Dave?
We, our first trip, we got started on the school, a 4-classroom school. We did a medical outreach, seeing somewhere in 15, 16, 1,700 people a day. We did a borehole as well. Our main focus really is to do an education project. Now, of course, we're moving forward into a clinic that is sponsored by a gentleman in Oakville, Ruth Somerville Memorial Clinic, and we're starting that this year. So
now, when you do medical work, does that mean that as a part of your team you bring along a doctor, nurses? How's that work?
Yeah, we do bring professional people, but it really needs to be said that support people are the people we need the most. Helpers, people who can count to 10 so that they can sort out pills, so that they can dispense pills, so that they can do crowd control, so that they can be involved in the eyeglass clinic and testing eyes and dispensing glasses. This doesn't take professionals.
No.
So we need all kinds of help to do that.
Now, we've got some pictures. Let's take a look at some of the pictures here in the monitor. Tell us what we're looking at here.
This is part of the lineup of people each day for our medical clinic. We have about 200 or so there. This is inside the medical clinic. As I said, this lady, Bridget Huber, we taught her to do triage in a matter of 15 minutes. So she was able to do triage and pass on the information onto the doctors. The ladies doing painting the outside of the school. Those ladies are from Eastern Canada. They came all the way from New Brunswick, and one from Scarborough area. This lady, long story, but we saw her crawling, actually pulling herself along the ground. She had started early in the morning, and late in the afternoon she just got there. She had to see the medical clinic, and what had happened to her is not only could she not walk, but her insides are full of worms, and she needed to be treated for that. And this is the proposed medical clinic that we're starting right now, as a matter of fact. And Ian Somerville will be going with us, and in memory of his wife.
Wow. Now, this gal who was crawling, I saw her there in a wheelchair. Victory Outreach Ministries are terrific. I spent a lot of time with them when I was there last month. Are they going to be following up someone like that?
Yeah, what we did, and you say, it's a wonderful, wonderful story when you see somebody pulling themselves, dragging themselves along the ground, and we picked her up, and this is what she said of the story, and through a translator, of course. She said, I crawled here like a worm. They picked me up, we put her in a chair. They put me on a throne, and I drove away in a chariot because we put her in a wheelchair. Wow. Touching story.
Yeah, really. You know, Dave, we take so much for granted, don't we? And when you're there, I mean, you're just in that area recently as well. You come back to Canada, and you really wonder if you're on the same planet.
Yeah, and it's amazing how, I mean, there's viewers that have in their heart that they want to do something, and they've always had this inkling that I should go on a missions trip. I should do that at least once. And we want to encourage them today that, you know, there's another team coming up in January that David is going to lead. You can get in touch with us, and it can be an opportunity for you to actually make a difference right on the ground.
Why don't we put up some information on the screen here? And friends, this is the opportunity of a lifetime for many of you. And believe me, if you take advantage of this, it will change your life. So walk us through that, Dave. What are we looking for here?
Well, everybody wants to go on a cruise.
Yeah.
You know, you hear about that all the time. So this is the Crossroads Uganda cruise. And
it's EWS. Yeah.
EWS.
Right.
And it's coming up in January. You can see the contact information. Get a hold of Kelly, email us, and we'll get you in touch. And Dave is heading up the team, and we're blessed to have him work along with him. And we'll get you the information you need.
Dave, how do you prepare a team? I mean, they're coming from all over the country. Yeah. Do you get them together in one place, or do you meet them for the first time, really, when you get to the other side of the ocean?
The core of this team usually ends up being in the GTA. However, we've had people from BC and Alberta and New Brunswick, and we talk to them, and we email them, and we tell them, we send them documentation, we prepare them, making sure that they don't think this is a cruise, that it is a vacation. And they're prepared when they get there. We do some preparation when we are there. We spend time in devotions every day in the morning and in the evening, letting them know what we're going to do, why we're doing what we're doing. And mostly what we're doing with them is trying to have them be aware of why God brought them there. What is going to be the change in their lives? What will happen to them after they leave? Where are they going to go from here? And we've had people go all over the world as a result of one trip with us.
Oh, yeah.
And others, we got, I think, 50% of the team that went last January are already signed up to go this January again. So we're looking at about 20 people going this time.
Not surprised when you get out of your home culture and your comfort zone into another part of the world where there's terrific need. It really has a huge impact on your life. Now, Dave, we're also giving people an opportunity to continue to be supportive. I think we've got another page here. This is Uganda Burlington Village, and what Crossroads wants to do in partnership with Alongside International is complete the school and the clinic. And any idea what that's going to cost?
Yeah, we'd like to really target about $20,000. It'll help us finish the school completely, and our hope is to actually open some of the classrooms this January. So if we could get just some seed money to kind of finish the classrooms, and then of course we need to equip the clinic. It's being constructed, but there is a lot of equipment involved. That would be a great help. So maybe you can't go, but maybe you could give those that are interested in education and medical relief. That would be a great blessing and help.
And the coordinates are there, friends, and I know that you've taken time already to copy it down. If not, we'll leave it up for another moment or two. But when you talk about the clinic, Dave, how are you going to staff it, and what will you do for pharmaceuticals?
Yeah, we have a plan in place, a strategy in place, of course, to have people from the area. Right. There are some people who have gone into the cities, been trained. They want to come back home and give back to their communities. Right. Naturally, we'll have to pay them. Yeah. We need seed money to get that going. Then we have agricultural project in the area that we're just starting as well. We're putting in a drip system for agricultural, and we're also putting in a system of ionizing water. But the revenues from that agriculture will help us to continue paying the staff there.
Right, and I've seen enough successful agricultural projects there to know that they can become profitable. Thank you, David Miclash, David Shelley. This has been a great update for you because you care and because you give. We'll be back with more right after this.